This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 976, Running Every Day for 40 Years, by Ross Enamait of RossTraining.com, and I'm Dr. Neil, your host and narrator. Hey there, happy Monday, and welcome back to another week of Optimal Health Daily. This is where I read to you from some of the best health and fitness blogs on the web, kind of like an ongoing audiobook. Now don't forget, we have 5 shows where we narrate blogs for you, covering a bunch of different topics. Check them all out by searching for Optimal Living Daily wherever you're hearing this. Like I've been saying for the past couple of weeks, I don't want this to become the coronavirus podcast. Instead, I hope this podcast can help you take your mind off some of those fears and instead help you focus on what's most important, you and your loved ones, and optimizing your health. And so with that, let's get right to today's post as we optimize your life. Running Every Day for 40 Years, by Ross Enamait of RossTraining.com. Throughout this blog's history, I've highlighted several inspirational stories. Inspiration has come from different faces and different places. There are those who have overcome adversity, others who defied the odds, and others who have performed at the highest level. We all find inspiration from different sources and for different reasons. What's inspiring to one may not light the fire for another. I therefore strive for variety within this section. Today's story is one that is quite unique. The individual performance of Mark Covert at any given time may not be record-setting, but the cumulative total certainly is. Mark Covert has run a mile or more every day for over 40 years. Assuming he continues, he will soon close in on 15,000 consecutive days. He has run every day of my life. Talk about consistency. Can you imagine running for 15,000 consecutive days? I'm fairly certain we've all had bad days. I'm sure Mark has had his share, yet nothing has stopped him from getting up and heading out the door. Here's what an article said about him back in 2007. Quote, "He's run for hours after hemorrhoid surgery and aboard a cruise ship while a tropical storm hit. Then there was the day 20 years ago when he broke his left foot. Although he managed to get home and to the hospital, his foot was so swollen they couldn't even put a cast on it. Covert then said, so the next day, I wrapped it in an ace bandage, put on a makeshift boot, and hobbled through. I wasn't going to miss my run." End quote. ABC News also covered Mark's journey. And despite the impressiveness of Mark's streak, he is not alone in his streaker quest. There's actually a United States Running Streak Association that was founded in the year 2000. Within the association's website, a list is maintained for active streakers. There, you can find a long list of runners who have run every day for 30 years or more. Within the list, you'll find people from all walks of life. It isn't as if these are aimless runners who don't have anything to do but run. The great majority of those included are professionals with full-time jobs, just like the rest of us. Here's an abbreviated list of some of the professions of those included: software developer, dentist, attorney, professor, real estate agent, doctor, finance manager, accountant, banker, systems analyst, operations manager, school principal, financial planner, landscaper, and the list goes on. These real-life examples have essentially crushed the "I'm too busy" excuse. As I've mentioned before, the busiest people in the world are still dealing with a 24-hour day. No one has the ability to stop time. The clock is always ticking. We are all busy. Get over it. It's also nice to see individuals who have defied conventional wisdom. Who would have thought it was possible to run every day for 40 years? What about all the warnings about overtraining, overuse, injury, and soreness? How have so many ordinary folks gone against the grain? Could it be that we as humans are in fact more capable than most realize? Could it be that you are actually capable of doing things you don't currently believe? At the end of the day, no one can tell you what you can do. Everyone is welcome to an opinion, but opinions are not written in stone. As Dirty Harry, or Clint Eastwood, once said in the movie, quote, "Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has got one." End quote. I myself regularly receive emails from keyboard jocks who tell me I shouldn't be doing this or that. I love it when a teenager writes in and tells me that what I'm doing is dangerous and will lead to injury. I honestly can't remember any significant injury that I've ever endured in the gym. The only injuries I ever had were hand problems as a young fighter. I'm now a father of 2 in my 30s. I work 6, often 7 days a week. I sleep less than most and train harder than most. I don't do it for any other reason than the simple fact that I enjoy it. I wouldn't be waking up at the crack of dawn to train by myself in an old garage-converted gym if it wasn't fun. And no, I'm not suggesting that you wake up today and run for the rest of your life. The point is that we are extremely capable, particularly when we become consistent with our efforts. I myself prefer to target my efforts in different, regularly changing directions. I may not run for 40 years in a row, but recognizing that it is possible does benefit me in other ways, specific to my own interests and needs. There is much to be drawn from Mark Covert's example. As Bruce Lee once said, quote, "Absorb what is useful, discard what is not, and add what is uniquely your own." You just listened to the post titled, "Running Every Day for 40 Years" by Ross Enamait of RossTraining.com. And now if you have a child, grandchild, nieces, or nephews learning at home, you'll want to hear this. Are you running out of ideas on how to keep kids entertained without a phone or video game? Check out KiwiCo today, a science and art subscription box for kids tested by kids. KiwiCo has 7 lines for kids of all ages. Adults who are kids at heart can join in on the fun too. I gifted the Tinker Crate to my nephew. It's like a laboratory for hands-on STEM projects your child can receive every month. It's really cool. High-quality materials and instructions, and my nephew loved learning more about physics and air resistance through a project where you have to build a sling. Do your part to encourage your children to be innovators and creative thinkers, and learn about individual projects from the KiwiCo store if you don't want to commit to a whole subscription. KiwiCo is redefining play with hands-on projects that build confidence, creativity, and critical thinking skills. There's something for every kid or kid at heart at KiwiCo. Get your first month free on select crates at kiwico.com/OHD. That's KIWICO.com/OHD. Dr. Neal here for my commentary. I know that exercising, let alone running every day for the next 15,000 days can seem really intimidating. Heck, even as I was reading this to you, I was thinking, wait, what happens when you're sick? What about those days when your muscles and joints are sore? So even I started to come up with excuses for reasons why running every day for 15,000 days wouldn't suit me. But then I stopped and really thought about it. Just as Ross mentioned, this article wasn't about creating the same goal as Mark Covert. But let me ask you this. What if you and I made the commitment right now to move for at least 5 minutes every day? Or eat at least 1 vegetable every day? Or take 5 deep breaths every day? These seem reasonable, right? With these types of goals, we can find a way to make Mark Covert's story inspiration for us to create our own story and our own goals. Who knows? Maybe you and I will be mentioned in the media someday for our impressive streak. All right, that'll do it for the Monday episode. I hope you have a wonderful start to your week. I hope you and your loved ones are staying safe and healthy. I'll be back here tomorrow as usual, where your optimal life awaits.